NEC chairman meets security chiefs ahead of the Edo and Ondo governorship elections.
We should ensure that the 2024 governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states are an improvement on the success story of 2020.
And better days are ahead, Information Minister tells Kano business community.
The acceleration of the revamping of our nation's internal refining capacity, with the Dangote refinery coming strongly and the Port Harcourt refinery returning to active production.
This is the network news on the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Lami Ali. We shall later join Adeola Konme-Akere in Lagos. Remember, you can follow this broadcast live on nta.ng/live and also on our other social media handles displayed on your screen. Now, the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, has assured the business community of better days ahead. He was speaking when he met with the business community in Kano State.
The acceleration of the revamping of our nation's internal refining capacity, with the Dangote refinery coming strongly and the Port Harcourt refinery returning to active production. Of course, we also know that other refineries will come on stream, later in the year and perhaps early next year.
The Minister of Information led the presidential media team on a courtesy visit to the governor of the state, Abba Kabir Yusuf. Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf of Kano State has commended President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for opening borders between Nigeria and Niger. This was when the governor received the Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, and his team in Kano. Minister Mohammed Idris reiterates that President Bola Tinubu will continue to support sub-national governments regardless of political party affiliations. Abdullahi Mustafa has the story.
Taking the pen and effort to ensure that this flag is brought to all the governors of the Federation, captains of industry, everybody, especially local government. This is actually the correct Nigerian flag.
A homecoming for Mohammed Idris, Nigeria's information minister, where he learned and taught decades ago. The visit, he told Governor Yusuf, is in pursuance of his ministry's 5-point agenda of amplifying the activities of the federal government. Part of it is engagement with relevant stakeholders to promote direct feedback between the citizens and the government, reassuring the commitment of President Tinubu in supporting subnational governments.
All Nigerians equally deserve peace, they deserve security, prosperity, and progress, and all the other benefits of good governance, regardless of ethnicity, religion, gender, geography, or even political affiliation.
Let me say or commend the Honorable Minister, the presidential media team, as well as all the heads of the media agencies for your efforts in amplifying the policies and programs of the President.
Governor Abba Kabir Yusuf, who thanked the minister for the initiatives, acknowledged President Tinubu's responsive disposition, citing the recent reopening of the Nigeria-Niger border. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
The presidency says the government is not looking back on checkmating the sharp practices in the foreign exchange sector to guard against further relapse of the naira value, as it is also cutting government expenses through proper management of finances. Presidential advisor on media and publicity, Ajuri Ngalale, said this as he briefed State House correspondents on various efforts of the federal government to address social and economic challenges facing Nigerians. State House correspondent Musbah Danwahab reports.
The baby step being taken by our country is going well. The economic challenge, we're about turning the corner. Our revenue is improved. And you can see reflected in the subnational.
The Chief Accounting Officer of the nation is monitoring the trend, and from the indications on his dashboard, things are looking up, manifesting in more strength for the Nigerian naira in the foreign exchange markets. But then, the storm is certainly not over yet.
We are very sober to the fact that this is no time to rest or to clap. This is a time to deepen our efforts, to dig in, and to work harder.
And now, the government is in another phase of unleashing some more short-term interventions it believes would further relieve the citizenry of the current hardship while also rejuvenating the Nigerian economy. Apart from the earlier conditional cash transfer to the most vulnerable, which is about to resume, the President has directed disbursement of 50,000 naira conditional grants to about 1 million nano businesses. About 150 billion naira is also being distributed to thousands of small and medium enterprises across the country with single-digit interest through the Bank of Industry as MEDAN. There is also a package for the big employers of labor, including the construction and manufacturing sectors.
We want to ensure that those industries and sectors that are massively employing our people are those industries that are prioritized with respect to government intervention, which is why the President has approved over 75 billion naira to be dispersed to 75 large-scale manufacturers across all states of the Federation. These are going to be manufacturers who employ over 1,000 Nigerians in each of their facilities and industries. We are going to ensure that they have the support that they need at the large scale so that Nigerian families who rely on these large-scale businesses are protected. We want to see our large-scale industries not just refuse to fire people, but to actively increase and expand their hiring at this difficult time.
But while the government is firming up its effort to enhance the spending power of Nigerians side by side the strength of naira, it equally expects the citizens to play their patriotic role by prioritizing and patronizing made in Nigeria goods and services.
He is also ensuring that we bring a sustainable strength to the currency so that when we talk about a new minimum wage, because many of our people have asked government officials about when the new minimum wage is coming in, those negotiations are ongoing, but what we do not want is a situation in which the minimum wage continues to be what it has always been in the history of our country, which is a moving goalpost. If we do not get a firm grip on the value of our currency, and it continues to be a volatile, devaluing asset, then whatever we do with the national minimum wage is going to essentially become a moot point, a nullity.
From the State House, Musbah, then Wahab, NTA News.
Responding to the directive of the Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, the Nigeria Customs Service has announced the suspension of the 25% penalty on improperly imported vehicles. A statement by the National Public Relations Officer of the service, Abdullahi Mewada, states, thus the period is a 90-day window effective from March 4th, 2024 to July 5th, 2024 for the regularization of import duties on specific categories of vehicles. The measure, he says, is to ease the economic hardship. He implored vehicle owners, importers and agents to seize this opportunity to regularize import duty payments within the designated 90-day time frame. Now, the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, says it is looking forward to a proper security arrangements ahead of the Edo and Ondo governorship elections. This was at a meeting between the election management body and representatives of security agencies in Abuja. Timothy Yusuf has the story.
The meeting commenced with observation of a minute silence for the repose of the souls of officers and soldiers of the Nigerian Armed Forces on peace mission in Delta State who were gruesomely killed. INEC is confident that the ongoing investigation will lead to the speedy arrest and prosecution of the perpetrators of the heinous crime. And to the business of the day, the September and November 2024 off-cycle governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states topped the agenda. INEC Chairman Professor Mahmood Yakubu again solicited the cooperation of the various security agencies to provide a conducive environment for all players during the elections.
Let us replicate the successful conduct of the last governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states. In fact, working together, we should ensure that the 2024 governorship elections in Edo and Ondo states are an improvement on the success story of 2020.
I want to assure Nigerians on behalf of my boss that this same feat will be repeated in subsequent elections.
We have been interfacing with the CPs in the two commands. We have identified all the flashpoints, and we have continued to work on the threat profile of the two states.
INEC hinted that there will be further engagements with the security agencies and other members of committee at both national and state levels before the elections. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Some key issues on the front burner in the current economic reforms of President Bola Tinubu's presidency came under scrutiny by economic experts. This was during the 44th colloquium of the former national youth leader of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Ismail Ahmed, organized by the Youth Progressive Forum. Political correspondent Abubakar Apanga reports.
The wheel of progress under the progressive leadership at the center now rotates on the trajectory of harnessing national potential for economic growth and development and setting the agenda for meeting national aspirations. The Youth Progressive Forum, on the platform of APC, established this platform where burning issues, both familiar and diverse in nature, are challenging expertise of key players in the Nigerian economy.
This is basically a small, about 20-25 people to 30 people to talk about forex, food price, and the farmer.
When you talk about food security, you are talking about some indices. First, you are talking about availability. You are talking about accessibility. You are talking about affordability. And you are also talking about in the right nutritional content on a sustainable basis.
We are a growing population and every Nigerian must eat food at least once a day. So agriculture is too important.
The party is becoming clearer as conversations are getting fashionable as these issues are now to take center stage for driving sustainable reforms, prioritizing production, diversifying economy and increasing the revenue base of the country. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
Now, CICOM is intensifying advocacy on the need for it to stand alone as an agency of government entrusted with the mandate of promoting good governance. This is to ensure adequate and quality service delivery to Nigerians by ministries, departments and agencies of government. The National Coordinator and Chief Executive Officer of CICOM, Nenna Akajemili, expressed this at a virtual meeting with Council of Nodal Officers to mark 20 years of CICOM's establishment. Kenneth Nanim reports.
CICOM was established to play a pivotal role in promoting accountability, transparency, and responsiveness in the public sector, ensuring that citizens receive timely, efficient, and courteous services. 20 years down the lane, CICOM is taking stock of its performance nationwide, expressing the commitment to building on the successes recorded so far. The National Coordinator, Nenna Akajemili, wishes that implementation of Oron Science Report does not erode the gains made in enhancing public trust and connection of citizens to government.
CICOM needs to stand as an agency. What should be the eyes, ears, and nose of Mr. President and indeed all other arms, reporting to them on what the people perceive around the services that are delivered to them. And so, the people's priority should drive every service process and system.
The performance evaluation also reveals that CICOM needs to improve in the area of collaboration with key stakeholders to build more confidence and trust between government and citizens in line with the renewed hope agenda of the federal government. Kenneth Nanim, NTA News.
Thank you for staying tuned. The Federal Civil Service Commission has institutionalized a monthly seminar series designed to serve as a space and learning lab for federal officers. Chairman of the Commission, Professor Tunji Olapa, says the seminar will deepen the sharing and learning of sustained key reforms in the Federal Civil Service. Haman Jabani has the story.
The seminar will examine some of the first-level issues and risks associated with the planned transition from analog to online computer-based commission assessment processes. Chairman, Federal Civil Service Commission, Professor Tunji Olaopa, says the starting point of the transformation journey is for the Commission to get back its originating mandate as the promoter and protector of the merit system in the civil service.
Who should be a civil servant? So we have seen all manners of people demonstrating the worst side of public service values. Also, we are beefing up performance management so that if you are wrongly recruited, you will show yourself when you are being assessed along the line of professional progression.
The system in use right now in processing promotion is not adequately transparent, is not adequately credible, and that it can bear improvement in its integrity.
The seminar centers on the institutionalized framework and procedure for the conduct of directorate-level exercise, guaranteeing integrity, transparency, and accountability of standard practice. Hamman Jabani, NTA News.
The Defense Headquarters says troops have intensified manhunts for the killers of 18 soldiers in Delta State. The Director, Defense Media Operations, Major General Edward Buba, who stated this in a statement, said troops eliminated 106 terrorists in the northeast, arrested 22 crude oil smugglers, and rescued 96 kidnapped victims. Now, the Ebonyi State Police Command says its operatives, in conjunction with troops of the Joint Task Force Southeast Operation Udoka, DSS and NSCDC, have raided the camp of the proscribed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, and their armed affiliate, the Eastern Security Network, ESN camp, killing 3 and arresting 5 others. A statement by the spokesperson of the command, Joshua Okando, said the raid was carried out based on credible intelligence in a forest located at Omini community in Izi local government area of Ebonyi State. He says the hoodlums, on sighting the operatives, opened fire on them. In the ensuing gun duel, 3 members of the proscribed group were neutralized, 5 were arrested, while others escaped. 3 Toyota Sienna vehicles snatched from different individuals and used by the hoodlums to perpetrate heinous crimes were recovered at the camp, including 1 AK-47 rifle with a bag containing 2,000 rounds of live ammunition, among other incriminating items. The leader of the Miyetti Group, Fulani Group, Bello Bodejo, has been arraigned before the Federal High Court, Abuja, over his alleged involvement in terrorism. The Office of the Attorney General and Minister of Justice filed a 3-count charge, to which the defendants pleaded not guilty of allegedly forming an unregistered ethnic militia organization, Kungiya Zamalafia. Being a terror-related charge, the court ordered the defendants to be remanded in custody of the Defense Intelligence Agency until his trial commences. Now, the Enugu State government is partnering the African Leadership Accelerator to train youths in the state on artificial intelligence applicable to all fields of human endeavor. The training is to upscale and upgrade knowledge already acquired by the youths in the state. Chinenye Wonye reports.
Technology is a tool that has changed the face of the world.
And it is believed that developing the capacity and skills of the Nigerian youths, especially in ICT, will help them become more employable and give them an edge in their careers. With its various programs, such as the ALX Software Engineering short courses in web development, data science and data analytics, ALX seeks to cultivate leadership skills, foster networking opportunities in young leaders who are ready to accelerate the continent.
We won't just leave you after you got on your training. We stay with you. You'll hear from some of our learners and graduates. We are with you even after your training to ensure that your career gets you to a place where you are fulfilled. Data analysis has actually helped me business-wise, work-wise, job-wise.
There's a world of possibilities out there. It's not just, for instance, you're a secretary and you think it's just your typing skills and you can go nowhere with it. Believe you me, there's a lot of things you can do.
Commissioner for Youth and Sports, Enugu State, said the Enugu State government hopes to reduce youth unemployment by 70% by the year 2030 and ensure that youth of the state compete favorably with their counterparts globally.
We decided to subsidize it so that those partaking in it, we can guarantee or we can ascertain to some extent the level of seriousness and the value that they place on this program.
When the youth of Enugu State between the ages of 18 and 34 must have undergone these ALX trainings, it is hoped that they will be able to upgrade their CV and become front and back end developers. In Enugu, Chineyemwoye, NTA News.
The Association of Indigenous Contractors of the Ministry of Works have sought approval of the Minister of Works, Dave Umahi, for what they referred to as rate review and other critical issues. This was during a meeting they had with the Minister in Abuja. Abdullahi Mohammed reports.
They are indigenous contractors, partners in progress with impeccable record in the delivery of world-class project under the Ministry of Works. Their mission unfolds. First, a thumbs up to the Honourable Minister for taking bold steps in the transformation of processes and procedures of awarding contracts as well as the end product.
Our visit is to commend your efforts on some of the good work you have been doing since your assumption of office.
On the flip side, challenges they are facing with delays in payment on top of the list. The contractors want the minister to address the issue of variation, a level playing field with non-indigenous contractors, and above all, abolish the validation by commissioners in states before getting certificate. This was carried out instantly.
I will tell the PAM Secretary to ignore the bluffing of the commissioners. I'm very proud of the indigenous contractors. I've been on site to see some of your jobs, and I have confidence in you. And I work with a lot of indigenous contractors as a governor, and I believe strongly that the job can be done.
They also sought the minister's intervention in promoting competition in the manufacture of cement for prices to fall. This, they say, will guarantee their willingness to embrace the concrete technology in road construction.
We want you to help us to support us, for us to be able to succeed in achieving our task as contractors of the ministry, especially in the areas of this concrete technology.
At the end of the meeting, described as fruitful, the contractors look forward to a better deal and more indigenous contractors playing a critical role in the provision of key infrastructure in the country. In Abuja, Abdullah Mohammed, NTA News.
Network News continues in our Lagos studios with Adiola. Hello, Adiola. It's over to you.
Thank you, Lami. The People's Republic of China says the volume of trade with Nigeria, currently put at $23 billion, is an indication of a mutually beneficial bilateral relations which both countries will continue to nurture in the interest of global prosperity. Consul General of the People's Republic of China disclosed this at a forum in Lagos tagged "The Chinese in Nigeria Economy Deepening Development Cooperation Towards a Shared Future, a Better World." Bolaji Akim reports.
In a world,
the genesis of bilateral relationship between Nigeria and China is dated back to 1971. Since then, the collaboration between the two countries has continued to wax stronger. Identified as a reliable Africa partner due to our economic development interest in the continent, China has been a major player in the promotion of economic and social development in Nigeria. According to China Consulate General, the countries believe in democracy and social justice drives a development bilateral relationship with African continent. Adding that the China-Nigeria relationship has brought about significant infrastructure, social and educational development. The bilateral relationship is also in the forefront of promoting Nigeria's digital economy.
Partnership and between China and Nigeria and between China and Africa countries. We have a long history, friendship, especially our trade business cooperation, cultural exchange, education cooperation are very good. And in the new center, and we hope that we can together build the shared future for mankind.
Director General of Nigerian Institute of International Affairs, Professor Ehosa Osahai, described the relationship as a win-win for the two countries.
Partnership is very pivotal to the things that we're doing, and Nigeria is not acting alone. The world today is a world of partnerships and cooperation and collaboration. So the more we're able to leverage on those things with China, with India, with Ghana, with the Ivory Coast, with South Africa, with everyone. So this is what we are doing. They need us and we need them.
The forum also featured review and unveiling of a 129-page book with 7 chapters titled "The Chinese in Nigeria Economy" by Ikenna Eneu. In Lagos, Bolaji Akim, NTA News.
Opportunities available in the compressed natural gas sector will not only provide additional revenue for the country, but create employment for Nigerians. This is the position of the program's director, Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative, Mike Oluwagbemi, at the flag-off ceremony of the first 15 vehicles of the Nigeria Army Fleet Auto Switch kickoff in Lagos. Lane Lenake reports.
As part of measures to cushion the effects of fuel subsidy removal, President Bola Tinubu has approved the establishment of the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative. The project targeted to divert the over-reliance on fuel vehicles to compressed natural gas. This exercise by the Nigerian Army Supply and Transport Corps and the Presidential Compressed Natural Gas Initiative is a demonstration of the federal government's commitment to promote an eco-friendly environment and cost-effective alternative fuel for mobility within the Nigerian Army fleet. The fleet switch to compressed natural gas is expected to enhance the Nigerian Army's constitutional and operational responsibilities.
The President has set out a goal for us that in 4 years' time, 2027, 1 million vehicles in Nigeria should be running on CNG. And the federal government is making provisions to ensure this is possible on its part to catalyze the investments that is necessary to make this a reality. Of course, it can only do a little part of it. The private sector will have to do its part. Investments in infrastructure like refueling stations, we need 3,000 of them. Conversion centers, we need about 1,000 of them to make this go. We even need mini LNG plants, one in every state capital of the Federation and the FCT. That requires quantum level of investment.
11 Nigerian Army personnel have been selected for the training, which will last for 2 weeks.
Course of supply and transport and electrical and mechanical engineer partner with the Presidential Committee on Natural Gas, the initiative, to ensure that they're able to transfer this technology to the Army, to ensure that we're able to use this to improve our operational efficiency.
The outcome of this initiative will spur other agencies to key into the compressed natural gas to reduce over-dependence on petrol. In Lagos, Lynn Lenake, NTA News.
And those are the reports from Lagos.
Borno State government has emphasized commitments to resettling all internally displaced persons in their ancestral homes to strengthen community resilience as peace gradually returns to most parts of the state. Governor Babagana Umar Zulum stressed this commitment in Mafa during palliative distribution to 25,000 residents as part of the ongoing palliative intervention across the state. Muhammad Goni brings us the details.
At an exercise personally supervised by Governor Babagana Umar Zulum, each of the 10,000 male heads of households resident in Mapa town received 25 kg bag each of rice and maize, 10 kg bag of sugar, as well as 10,000 naira cash support. Similarly, each of the 15,000 female beneficiaries got a carton of spaghetti, a fabric, and 5,000 naira cash. The elated beneficiaries described the gesture as timely.
I want to acknowledge the receipt of 15,000 cartons of spaghetti from the Northeast Development Commission, and I want to commend the efforts of the federal government in complementing the efforts of the state government.
The governor then stressed that it has become imperative for government to return the IDPs to their ancestral homes to strengthen community resilience and enable them return to their farms, as continued distribution of the palliative is no longer sustainable. He also expressed worry over recurrent cases of fire outbreak at the IDPs camp, which he suspected are mischievously ignited to attract support of government, hence the need to relocate them to their homes or communities of their choice. District head of Mafa, Abbakau Abubakar Garbai, appreciated the governor for the timely distribution of the palliative to his community, which he said will go a long way in cushioning hardship, especially in the month of Ramadan. Before the governor's entourage left Mafa town after successful palliative distribution, NTA camera lenses captured fresh fire incident at the IDPs camp, but the causes of the inferno and the number of casualties were not ascertained as at the press time. In Maiduguri, Muhammad Goni, NTA News.
Nigeria's borders are about to experience improved security as 30 Hilux vans were deployed to enhance border patrol by the Nigeria Immigration Service. Victor Azu reports that the vehicles donated by NNPC Limited have been inaugurated by the Minister of Interior, Olubunmi Tunjojo.
Porosity of Nigeria's borders is blamed in part by many experts for the nation's security challenges, and efforts are on to address the issues. One such effort is the procurement of these vehicles, 30 of them donated by the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, NNPCL, to enhance border patrol by the Nigeria Immigration Service. Please, a round of applause.
An efficient Nigeria Immigration Service will lead to a secured border. And once you have a secured border, there will be less pressure on our military officers.
The new Comptroller General of Immigration is lucky, it may seem, but to whom much is given, much is expected. And CGI Kemi Nandab appears to have a clear sense of how and where to deploy for optimum efficiency.
With enhanced mobility, our border patrol teams will be better equipped to detect and deter illegal activities, including smuggling of migrants, trafficking in persons, and other organized transnational crimes.
A test drive is in order to be sure of what officers across the borders are getting and what to expect. In Abuja, Victor Azu, NTA News.
Now, President Bola Tinubu extends his warmest congratulations to Yeye Olufunke Daniel as she marks her 60th birthday, praying for God's unceasing benevolence on her and her husband, Senator Gbenga Daniel, former governor of Ogun State. The president thanks Mrs. Daniel and her family for their prayers and support, as well as for their gestures of faith, trust, and espousal of progressive ideals. President Tinubu wishes her many more years in good health and strength. Similarly, President Bola Tinubu extends his warmest congratulations to Africa's ingenious business leader, Mr. Tony Onyemechi Olumelu, CFR, on his birthday, which is today, March 22nd, 2024. Commending Mr. Olumelu for his industry and the uncommon spirit of excellence that governs the entirety of his enterprise, President Tinubu acknowledges the business leader's streak of genius in driving investments, creating opportunities for Africa's ebullient youths, and providing them with the support. Thank you for staying tuned. As Nigeria joins the rest of the world to commemorate the 2024 World Water Day, the federal government is working out measures to prevent water crisis and ensure improved sanitation. Minister of Water Resources and Sanitation, Professor Joseph Utsaf, said this at a press briefing to mark the day in Abuja. Usman Zubairu reports.
Approximately 2.2 billion people worldwide lack access to safe drinking water, with 4.4 billion experiencing severe water scarcity. Although Nigeria is not considered one of the regions that will experience high water stress by 2040, access to clean drinking water is a serious challenge in the country. Therefore, to avert these pressing water and sanitation issues, the United Nations has designated March 22nd each year as a World Water Day to raise awareness on improving access to safe and clean water. Ministry of Water Resources says government acknowledged the importance of improving access to water and has invested so much in water infrastructure to ensure that all Nigerians have clean and safe water.
It's the commitment of this administration to continue collaborating with development partners and donors in engaging with a range of stakeholders and supporting government's strategic approach to proper execution of water policies in the country.
This year's theme, Water for Peace, was chosen to demonstrate water's pivotal role in fostering peace, prosperity, as well as conflict prevention. In observance of this year's World Water Day, the Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation streamlined activities to include a work exercise, presentation of merit award to winners of 2024 water quiz competition, and commissioning of a water project at dormitory community. In Abuja, Usman Zubairu, NTA News.
Now, Olumide Iguntola brings us latest news from the world of sports.
It's a good start for coach Finidi George as the Super Eagles of Nigeria defeated arch rivals, the Black Stars of Ghana, 2-1. A goal in each half was enough to silence the Ghanaian national team in the international friendly match played in Morocco. Ademola Lookman scored the second goal in the 85th minute of play before Jordan Ayew converted a spot kick during the last minute of play.
I think it's a good one. First win for Finidi George's boys, and I think their second friendly match, if they could just up their performances and seeing the new boys that came to the team perform, I think it's going to be a good one, seeing that we have a lot of options going forward ahead of the World Cup qualifiers.
From the African Games in Ghana, as at news time, Egypt is still leading with 175 medals. Nigeria won 8 more medals on Thursday to Ghana a total of 98 medals. Same with third place South Africa. Nigeria is second on the log due to superior numbers of gold medals won. In tennis, former Grand Slam champion Dominic Thiem lost to a challenger ranked among the top 200 players, Lucas Numaya. He defeated Dominic 6-2, 6-1 to reach the quarterfinals of the Qatar Opens. Dominic has not been impressive since returning from a wrist surgery. With sports update, Olumide Iguntola, NTA News.
And here is a check on Saturday's weather prospects.
Welcome to the weather forecast. Further improvement in horizontal visibilities are expected over the northern parts of the country as sunny and hazy atmosphere is expected to prevail across the region. Patches of cloud with sunshine intervals are expected across the central cities down to the southern region, with chances of early morning thunderstorms to parts of the southeast coast. By afternoon, there are prospects of isolated thunderstorms to cities along the stretch of the coast, extending to most parts of the inland cities of the south, as well as the central cities. Let's see how this weather affects the temperatures. I'm Sefia Senyinusa. Thank you for watching.
And that concludes the network news. We thank you for watching. I am Lami Ali. Do have a good weekend.